No, we're just
Yeah,
talking about
we're talking if we're gonna pave this year. And there's a lot of paving down out there, year in and year out.
Are there any grants available? Has Gary said anything?
I haven't had no discussion about the,
there always are.
the weather's not...
Yeah, but you have to think about planning, planning. I'm thinking might be transfer budget.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but we put one on and it never passed. We worked hard at it. We tried it.
If people don't want to pay, and they don't want to pay for it, then they have no right to scream about crappy roads. If we ask for the money, and they want to pay it in, then we pay. If we ask for the money and they don't pass it, then we don't pay.
Isn't Struthers doing
No?
that?
I mean, it's what the people want. It's not what we want. It's what the people want.
Struthers put on levy? Is that what you're saying?
They've been talking about
They
it.
put it
Yes.
on in May. They put it on.
For in May, you're going to vote on it?
I think you give the people an option to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
So they will put it on the May ballot. We were talking about it last month, so they worked on it real quick.
That needs to be filed 90 days before the election?
Yeah, we gotta get on
Well,
it.
then I think you missed the deadline.
In May,
I think it was either yesterday or today.
But, you know, without having the budget done, it's kind of hard to explain that. If anything, we could go for it in the fall, and then we wouldn't get anything done this year on it. Okay, but, Nick, do you have the most current rate resolution worksheet from the county? Okay, because I believe 14 is the year that our largest general expense levy is going to expire, which means we've got to get that on in the fall. Renew 3.2 mil. That's operations. We cannot lose that, or we don't have operations. We have no police department. We got to have that 3.2 renewal.
Should have done it for May.
It doesn't expire until the end of 14. So usually we do those like in the fall. If it doesn't pass, you have an opportunity to put it on again in the spring of 15.
So this fall, 2014, we'd have to put it on the ballot.
That's usually the way that we always did it. We took the first possible chance to put it on, which is the fall of the year that it's going to expire. Okay? Then you still have 2 more chances in 15 to get it passed. Our voters have been really good about renewals. I mean, I think they understand. They've been paying those taxes. That hasn't changed. It's been consistent. It's what keeps the village running between the 3.2 and the 2 mil that's on opposite years. That's our general expense money that keeps the town going.
How much did we spend on paving last year?
$95,000.
If we were to put a levy on it, approximately how many mills would that be?
Are you talking about streets?
Streets, 1.5.
Each mill is about 57,000, 58, but that rate resolution will tell us what the most current number is, so we'll need that from the county. It's been pretty consistent, though, between 58,000.
Per mill.
Joe,
Per
you
mill.
want to just doing this now?
You know, whenever you did 1 mil is $1 per thousand valuation. No, that's what 1 mil is. 1.001 cents per dollar. Well, okay, you want to do it now or?
Whatever you want.
Well, why don't we do it so that it's in the record at
7:30. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do We pledge allegiance to the flag.
Yeah.
You can suspend the orders of the day.
Pardon?
You can suspend the orders of the day.
Yeah, okay, sure.
All right. Well, if you want, I can call Gary and see.
If there's anything available,
I mean, there is, there always is.
too late for this year.
Not necessarily. Anthony's coming.
If it's a grant, it's not too late.
No, there's
Right, I
always-
mean, if it's a grant, then if we can get a 2080 especially,
Yeah.
those are pretty nice.
Yeah, anything.
You haven't heard from the Board of Education about the
No, I haven't seen it yet. See, I think it's
They got resolved. That'll come fast.
As soon as they settle their contract, I'll probably think about it.
I happen to be on the lake board for Aqua also, and they want to put a 5.4% tax, increase for the next 2 years. But it's no increase. It's the same as we got now. We gave them 5.4%, and that expires, and they want to go in for another 2 years, 5.4%. Some people don't like that either.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
As you say, you want to talk about iPhone?
Yeah, well, we had a nice meeting the other day on the 22nd, and Bill was there. Do you know how old our Hunch is? 96 years old. And you guys, he shouldn't be driving. Well, it's not my call. But he didn't know what a trailer was.
Yeah.
And you guys are trying to direct him, and the snow, the steps were all covered. What a mess. But that's why I took him.
Yeah.
He's 96. He's a nice old fellow. Okay, you know his sons, right?
His son.
Sons, but he lives in California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but we had a meeting, and I'd say it was a good meeting, because, but they're trying to do a lot of stuff other than just take care of the Hine property. I mean, they want to have contests, right? Maybe you want to talk about that, because when I took them, you took over, and
Yeah, then I had to leave.
Simon was here too, Mr. Simon.
Yeah, we're talking about enhancing the Christmas decorations at the Village Green again for next year, that he wants to do more things, with candy canes up, more decorations and stuff like that. But I think the biggest discussion was the event itself, and how to work around the lighting of the village so that works a little bit better and one doesn't conflict with the other.
Yeah.
I don't think, it really didn't come with any agreement, but they definitely want to do something where there's no conflict between the two events.
Yeah, because we had 3 things going on that night. And I think, you come up with the idea, let's take another weekend, right?
Yeah.
No, don't jam everything in one night.
Yeah, that was talked about. Some of the lighting's are going to be done the weekend of Thanksgiving, and then the rest of it, lighting of the Christmas tree, and they're talking about having a contest with kids involved, and the winner of the contest, that kid will be able to actually light the trees, and it's when to do it.
Yeah.
But Simon is definitely going to be adding to it. And Moransky, Mr. Moransky.
Yeah.
Are they only interested in that piece of property? Are they willing to help down here with what we need to do?
Linda, who always used to say, we can only spend the money on the Hine Fund at the...
Oh, that's true, but no, you're saying definitely, that's absolutely true, and it still
Yeah.
holds true, Joe.
Yeah.
You were saying that Mr. Simon is interested in doing something more
Sure. Out
out of his money?
yeah.
We're talking
Yeah.
about donations,
See,
right?
yeah.
Okay, that doesn't conflict then, Joe.
No.
See, I get the sense, though, the Village Green means a lot to him, and meant a lot to his parents who are now deceased.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's He's focused on the Village Green, it
Okay.
seems. It's something near and dear to him personally.
Yeah, both he and Muransky would like to see some kind of a plaque to honor their parents.
Some sort of
Something.
memorial,
Yeah.
a bench, a plaque, or something like that. They'd like to have it. So we were talking about that as well. Then, of course, we talked about the historical marker for the Village Green. The Pioneer Fund has to be voted on yet, but it's probably going to take care of the entire amount for the historical marker for that.
Very generous gentleman, boy. But we can't take advantage of it. I mean, we can't say, get something going and have to pay the bill. That's not good.
I think the only thing we ever really asked for of him was, would you like to help out? And then he took it and ran with it. His generosity has just been amazing.
Yeah.
Way more than we ever expected.
Anticipated, right.
Well, Bill does have built in on the request of finance for some money that's going to help for the Christmas celebration down here through Lands and Buildings. And we need to do that, I think, because, of all the events in town, our residents really seem like they come out in large numbers for both the Christmas celebration and the 4th of July celebration. We get a big draw of people for those, and it's important. I mean, Christmas for the little ones in our town is probably the most important event. And those are some pretty old lights that we have, and we've had so many issues with them.
Changing over to LED, changing over to LED, actually the lights would pay for themselves eventually because the power consumption is so much lower.
They got a lot of donations last year, I know, too, so they can put money into Peter Williams Club.
Are they still thinking about doing a fundraiser for that? Because Lori had mentioned that maybe they could do that. It's going to be costly for this, what they want to do. So I think it's a great idea. If we can get, village business owners maybe to contribute, it would be a nice thing. I mean, the village cannot do a fundraiser and collect the money, but they can do it. The Ladies Club can do it. And,
But I'm asking for us to kick in a nice little chunk of seed money to get the project started.
I think it's a great idea.
All right, is 7, please stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call of members. Here.
Mr. Donovan? Here. Attorney Limmer? Mr. Major?
Here.
Mrs. Sonny?
Here?
Mrs. Yack?
Here.
Motion to excuse Councilman Limmer and
Anthony, I think, is coming. He texted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll suspend the orders today, Joe. We'll suspend the orders today and do this.
Sure, let's suspend the orders of the day and have this resolution presented to Eleanor Zediker, okay?
All right, it's my pleasure. I'm sorry, all in favor of doing that?
And her two boys are here too.
If you guys all want to come up, John, Rob, Eleanor, Janie, come up too. You're part of the family. All right, as everyone knows, of course, Eleanor Zediker, her son's Rob, John, and that is Jan Bram was Bob's sister. So we're all very grateful for all that your husband did for this community. It's hard to replace him, I'll tell you that, but we did an honorary resolution for him, and we'll give this to you when we're done, of course. And it says, whereas Robert Zediker was a devoted family man, a successful businessman, an active church member, devoted his time and talents to a number of charitable organizations and had many hobbies, but also found time to devote his talents to the Poland community. And whereas Robert Zediker served the Village of Poland in the capacity of the chairman of the Poland Forest Board and as a member of the Poland Forest Foundation Board. And whereas Robert Zediker served the Village of Poland on the Samuel K. Hine Memorial Board, and as the village representative to the Western Reserve Joint Fire District Board, and whereas Robert Zediker served as Poland Boy Scouts of America Troop 44 Scoutmaster for more than 20 years, being honored with the Silver Beaver Award for service and the 2012 District Award of Merit, and was both a member of the Greater Western Reserve Council's Executive Committee and individual member of the Order of the Arrow. And whereas the Council of the Village of Poland, Mahoning County, Ohio, wishes to express its appreciation posthumously for the service that Robert Zediker contributed to the community. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Poland, Ohio, that the Council of the Village of Poland hereby expresses its thanks and appreciation for Robert Zediker's devoted and unselfish services performed for the Village of Poland. Be it further resolved that a copy of the resolution be entered into official records of the Village of Poland, and that a copy be presented to Eleanor Zediker, wife of Robert Zediker. And we pass this on January 21st.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Give me a hug.
In God's memory and honor, I thank you for this, for Robert. He loved this community, he enjoyed working with each of you, and he knows the work will go on. That's the beauty of all of us passing this way. So we know it'll be a continuum. So thank you.
Okay, if you go to the corner, over here, let's get...
In the corner. Excuse me.
Mayor, hey. What's that?
And also, may I do a postscript? In the obituary announcement, I'm sorry that the Heinz Fund somehow was cut out of it, and there was, of course, no dedication to that, because Bob enjoyed his time with the Heinz Fund and appreciated that grand possibility, so to honor the Heinz also.
Ready? Okay, there was no flash.
And there's no glare.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Best wishes.
Thanks for coming.
Eleanor,
Yes.
you're on the forest board, you know, and we meet on the 26th.
I'll put it on my calendar.
The fourth Tuesday.
I did ask if you would consider me, and thank you for that appointment, because I would like to at least shepherd the projects I know are within notebooks and notes at home. Thank you. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
To introduce themselves.
Oh, is Jim here? Hey, Jim, oh, there you are.
Hello.
Sure. Come on up, Jim. Jim Bramer, he's you take it over. That's the mayor. He's how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Good. Nice to meet you. Tim Siggers.
Nice to meet you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Joe. So we have a gem in our community we need to tap into. So.
Hey, man, I mentioned you came to a couple of our forest board meetings, and you expressed an interest in getting involved here. So,
Anything I can do to help, I'm currently working with Mill Creek Park as their forestry supervisor. I have my own tree company, take care of small pruning, and we do some removals as well. But like Joe was saying, I wanted to get on the forest board for the Poland Woods. Any way I can help out. And he mentioned there might be a street tree commission.
Yeah, I'll give you, I think I got a copy from somewhere, but I'll give this to you so you can sort of see what it does, starting right here, sort of details, which I'm sure will be no problem for you, but that sort of tells you what the job is. Basically, what I would recommend that you would be appointed to this and the council will approve it, and then you're basically the tree commissioner.
okay. Are you scolding the art of trees?
Yes, I am. I have 2 degrees with Hocking College in forest management and GIS GPS. I'm a ISA certified arborist as well as a municipal specialist. I'm certified through the International Society of Arboriculture. I'm also now just got my credentials for tree risk assessment, which is internationally recognized as well. So yeah, a lot of credentials to go along with this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You said you had kind of a summary.
Yeah, I did. I left it at my
Maybe a
bench
packet,
here.
give the guys a copy, and
just-
give a copy to the fellow who writes the minutes, okay?
I'll get that right now.
Jeff Rabel over here.
Thank you for coming, Jim, I appreciate that. Joe, for finding for us, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. That it?
Yes, I think
All
so.
right, that's me.
Just work in progress of my resume there.
Yes.
Information. Right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Tell them you live in a village, you live in Massachusetts.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
these are good.
That's
That's
nice.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, welcome aboard.
Well, thank you.
Motion to send the order today.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, acceptance of the minutes from the previous council meeting.
A motion to waive the reading.
Accept.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain. Notification of meetings and events to the public in news media. Blooper.
Blooper will meet before the next council meeting on the 18th at 6:30 here.
Finance.
Finance has a meeting scheduled,
Next Tuesday.
14th? 11th?
11th.
11th, at 6:30. Is that going to work for you?
Yep.
Okay,
That's here at Village Hall.
yes.
All right, legislation,
Nothing?
police,
Nothing?
streets.
Before our next council meeting, which is on the 18th.
Okay. Boards, ARB.
We meet this Thursday, February 6th, 7 p.m., Village Hall.
Planning.
The 19th at 7 o'clock here.
All right, Board of Zoning Appeals.
Nothing.
Western Reserve Fire District.
Western Reserve Fire District will meet next Wednesday, February 12th at 7:30 p.m.
Wait, I thought, didn't we move that up to 7?
No,
We didn't do it?
7:30 because of the trustees have started their
Good,
meeting.
moving ahead.
Yeah, they start now at
Good.
6, I believe.
Okay, awesome. All right, Forest Board.
We were supposed to have a meeting on, when was it? But it was canceled because of the weather.
Okay.
We didn't have it, but we're going to meet on the 28th of February.
All right, and High Memorial.
Nothing.
Well, next 2 months, right? We're going to meet every other month. Yeah.
I think we put it down on the, as required, right? We didn't put it scheduled.
We did it every 2 months. Well, we'll check it, yeah.
What time is the fourth board meeting?
7:30.
And it's here?
Yeah.
Okay. Report from Mayor, I don't really have anything other than I would like to recommend that we appoint James Bramer as our Street Tree Commissioner, subject to approval by council.
Yeah.
We do have motions or resolutions.
Yeah,
Did you
that's the
submit a
25th.
court report, though? You want that second?
Yeah, so I'm sorry. I'd like to also submit the court report that Paul had did for January, correct?
Motion to accept the mayor's report? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Report from fiscal officer, Mr. Stern.
Okay, quickly go down the list of bills to be paid. Let's start this one. Lost my shot. I issued the 1099s, those are out. I filed the annual report with the state auditor's office, and that will be published. All fourth quarter and annual payroll reports have been submitted. And page 2 is the summary of the report of 2013. So, if we start with the general fund, we started the year of 13 with $1,461,809. That is both the star and the checking. We had revenue of $699 of $855, which includes $51,000 in the state tax. We had expenditures of $717,791. We have an ending balance of 13 of 1,443,873. I would like to point out that if you remove the 51,000 from the receipts, your actual receipts were 648,620. If you remove the 95,000 for the resurfacing, your actual expenditures are 622,792. We brought in, I should have wrote that on yours too, but I wrote it on mine. We brought in 26,000 more than what we spent last year in the general fund.
That's pretty impressive.
Yes,
This
it is.
is not a deficit spending budget. And I can't even take any credit for it because I wasn't here to do that budget. So you guys did a great
All we
job
need
on
is the
this
right
budget.
I've been telling you that for 21 years.
It's been a long time, no deficit spending budget.
like 10 years ago.
No, seriously, I'm proud of you guys.
The spending was really held down this year.
Good job.
Now, the street construction fund, we started with 28,006. The revenue was 133,000. The expenditures were 139,000. We ended the year with 22,791, which was a fall of $5,800. We did get some things last year, raises last year, and those amounted to roughly $3,700. So, but I think we have to watch this fund, or else we're going to have to subsidize this again from the general fund. We could probably knock a little bit off of these expenditures if we watch that a little bit. Then the State Highway Fund, we started the year with 14,842. We received 11,393. We spent 15,544, leaving a fund balance of 10,691. The 15,544 includes a $2,400 expenditure for a traffic signal that got knocked down. We have since received that from the insurance agency in 2014. So basically, net effect of that is only $1,750. We spent over what we got in. So all in all, not a bad year.
Okay, Nick, when we have the beginning balance, is that a carryover from the previous year?
Yes.
In each one of these? Not bad, huh?
Not bad.
28,000 for the street, and look at the beginning balance in the first one.
But did you see how the street fund went down almost $6,000, Joe?
Yeah.
So we have to watch that. If we do $6,000 every year, in 4 years it's going to be gone and then you'll have nothing.
Yeah.
So we want to watch those expenditures in that fund.
Yeah, the street fund, we're going to have some issues there. And I'm noticing here, comparing 12 and 13's revenue, you had another drop-off again for this fund in gasoline tax. So every year we keep losing a couple $1,000s from this fund, because of what's going on in Columbus, basically, and them cutting so many our tax dollars. So this one is definitely going to be a problem if we don't do something with it. Okay, and we had talked about, and I know Russ had mentioned maybe adding another permissive tax. There's one more that we can put on, I believe. And are you receptive to doing that?
Explain, what do you mean?
Permissive taxes on the cars,
License
like
plate.
$5 a piece for each car. Okay, so technically it's a tax, but it's not a voted levy kind of tax. It's something that the council could decide to put on. And I'll research it, Joe, to find out exactly what the process would be to go about doing that. But it might be just enough to lift this fund and bring us, to a little more stable condition with this fund, not to have to depend on general.
What else besides license plates? Have you got any other ideas?
For street fund, basically,
Permissive.
bills is the only other thing that we can do. Bill's idea about a levy. I mean, as it stands right now, you can continue to use some of your investment money to do paving. I mean, I don't know that you want to do that every single year. A $100,000 hit to that is going to start draining that rapidly if we do that every single year. But, if we could do even something like this, like a permissive tax, which brings in some more revenue for this fund to stabilize, it might help us at least not to be putting the drain on the general fund just for operations, for street fund. So,
Am I correct that I remember it's about $50,000 to do 1 mile, to grind it and put 2 coats down? I think that's what the...
How many miles did we do this year or last year?
I don't know. We only did pieces. Remember?
Yeah.
Piece here, piece there.
So that was 95,000, huh?
Yeah.
We didn't do a mile.
No, we didn't do a mile. Isn't it 50 grand, right, Russ, for
Oh, it's more than
grind?
that.
Is it? I got it written down.
We didn't do a mile.
Okay.
No.
93 for last few miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's expensive.
$100,000 a mile.
Cold mix is $96 a ton.
it's probably worth checking out, and I don't think that our residents would complain nearly about a $5 raise on the tax on a license plate as opposed to putting on a property tax that's going to cost them a lot more. I mean, this is small in comparison to, and it's not going to bring a gigantic amount of money in, I'm sure, but it would be something that might help this fund to stabilize. You're going to run this fund a little bit tighter this year because you're starting with $22,000, which is lower than it's been for a while. So it's going to be a cash flow issue for you probably.
Well, we'll see as it goes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Question for you on this, hang on this thing.
Yes.
There's two things. Whole Presbyterian Church.
Yes. That's out of the Hein Fund money. Excuse me, Hein Fund. $40 a month for the dumpster.
And Mr. Brutal Senior.
New recorder.
Oh. Okay. Thanks.
What? And the report.
Motion to accept this report.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Anything from Deputy Clerk?
I will be absent on March 18th meeting due to an out-of-town work commitment.
Report from zoning administrator.
Nothing at this time.
My favorite part of the meeting, report from solicitor.
One question.
Yes.
Any activity on that gas station?
Nothing. I can make a phone call.
Just curious. Why did they walk away from it?
Oh, no.
Disrepair.
I'll make the call.
Thanks.
Pass this down, please.
Take one and pass, or just pass it?
Take one, pass it around. That needs to be in the record, actually. No. All right, I was in receipt of the opinion of the attorney who represents the folks on Riverside and the bank building about the trees that were removed. I sent their attorney's response to Attorney Leanne because I had a pretty good basis for the factual part of it, talking to Dave that we did send notice. We have copies of that, which we're going to need. But the part that I was confused about was the surveyor's part, wherein they said that the one client measured the property and measured to the middle of the street, and therefore it was a right-of-way, therefore they were not responsible. So So I sent it to Attorney Leone, and I spoke to him. He researched it and got back to me today. I drafted a response that I wanted to send to their attorney, and this is for counsel to look at. I'll summarize it. Basically, it says that the information and the arguments that they gave us aren't sufficient, in my mind, to negate us pursuing the assessment. With regard to their clients reviewing the measurements, he's not a surveyor, so it doesn't matter to me what he thinks, where the middle of the road is or where their property starts or ends. That is insufficient. The part of the argument about the notice, I reference in here that he should talk to his clients again, because we have notice that was sent to them, and I don't know if he was not told that or misunderstood, but we have 2 letters that went to them. One asking or notifying them that the trees need to be removed, and then one notifying them that we removed them and the bill. Is that correct?
My portion of that was sending a notice that the trees needed to be removed, that they would be removed by the village at the underlying property owner's expense.
Okay. So we comply, in my opinion, with what our ordinance requires. The other argument that the attorney made was, in Attorney Leone's letter, he referenced the statute, and the statute references county engineers and trustees of villages or of townships. It doesn't specifically say that a village can do this, but that power is encompassed in that statute. That power is a police power of any entity to protect their citizens and to do the things that are needed to ensure their safety. So I disagree with his attorney's assessment that we didn't have the authority to do that, and I know we have the authority to do it by our own ordinance. So I lay these arguments out for him, and I offer at the end this, that if he wishes, if his clients wish, they can secure a professional surveyor's opinion. They can have someone come in and look at that property and make an argument or do a survey and argue to me why they don't think that they own that. I don't say that if they do that, if they make that argument, that we're going to let it go. I just say that you have not convinced me so far that we're not going to pursue this. I'm giving you one more chance. If you want to get a professional surveyor, go ahead and do that, and I'll consider it before we send it down to collections. In my mind, the amount of money that they're going to pay, and it's not my mind, it's a fact, to get that surveyor's report is going to be as much as almost what we expect from them for the removal of the tree. And I don't know why we're going as far as we are, but we are. And to me, this is an important case now, because if we either back off or give up pursuing it, then number one, don't back our ordinance. And then 2 is we have a bad precedent laid that if people contest it, we're going to say, then you don't have to pay it. And I think you have to go as far as you can, and if a court tells me, no, you can't collect it, here's why, then I'll take that and I will fix whatever it is in the statute that is wrong. I don't see that. So I'm of the opinion that their argument seems to me to be notice and opportunity to fix. I'm comfortable we've given them a lot of notice. I look back at my notes and went back to November 6th, I think it was. This is 3 months later. And we've given them every chance to cure the defect, the breach of the statute. And by us doing this, it just strengthens our argument when we go to the court, if we have to, that we gave them every chance to do this on their own, and they did. We gave them every chance to pay the fee, and they didn't. And this is why we have to go the route we are.
Okay. Who knows how much money we're talking about?
For a surveyor?
No, for the that were.
I think it was $1,200 for the one tree, $800 for the other.
Yeah, I think like the total was around $2,200.
Oh.
Why does my memory keep telling me that we had a discussion about paying surveyors for something?
We hired Attorney Leone, who's a property lawyer, to give us an opinion with regard to, number one, our statute, our ordinance, and number two, the location of the trees. And it was his opinion that the trees were on their property.
So we hire an attorney, not a surveyor.
He's a title attorney. He did a title search. So that, in my mind, insulated us, that we didn't just send it down to the auditor willy-nilly. We went and did due diligence. We gave opportunity. We took expense. And when we finally took the action that we're going to end up taking here, which is sending it down for an assessment, no one can say that we didn't go around the bend to do it. I mean, we've gone around the bend a couple times. So this is the response. I just drafted it today, and I sent it to Paula to put it on our letterhead, and then send it tomorrow. If anyone has any suggestions, this will go out tomorrow. Okay, it'll go out tomorrow. And I said I gave them 30 days to get a surveyor to report to me. I gave them 10 days to notify me if they're going to get that report. If they are not going to get that report, then there is insufficient argument for me to withhold sending it down to the auditor. If they are going to get the report, then I want it within 30 days so I can review it. And then I will advise council on what I think we should do.
Good job.
Okay?
Good. Yep.
And my report.
Motion to accept the solicitor's report.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Good work, I like the new suit.
I'm trying to pass it around.
Writing a written report in the suit. Okay, good, it's really organized. Report from Chief of Police and Street Commissioner.
Both departments been right.
Should we do a parking ban?
I would say that would be very helpful.
Till when? Thursday or? For the notice?
Yeah, probably till further notice. We're supposed to get it again this weekend. Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have enough salt to get us through the end of this winter?
I'll get us through.
I just talked to the engineer for the county, and they are out of salt.
Oh.
Not only are they out, they don't think they can get it from the state because the other counties have been taking extra salt. So the state is in a position where if they say, well, enforce the contract, go ahead. And if you get it in June or July, what does it matter? There's not going to be enough salt for other places around here other than Poland.
I think we can get through. I had a stockpile. I did get us on the list for additional salt if it becomes available, depending on what the price is. But I see them jacking the price on us. I just looked it up before I came out here, and they're saying that, there's a big shortage, which is causing price increases, and which, even though we buy salt at a state contract price, I don't know how they can jack the price up on us, but I don't think we're going to get any more. I got us on the list just in case, but we'll make it. We'll be all right.
You're ahead of the game because
We had stuff left from last year, and I try and stay a little bit ahead on it, but we'll be all right. We're not going to spread salt over every inch of every street. I think that's a waste of money anyhow, but we'll continue to do what we do, intersections, hills, main routes. We'll be all right. We'll be okay.
Russ, you had requested to attend Finance Committee meeting?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Okay. We're going to meet on the 11th at 6:30.
Yeah, I
And
knew
if you
that.
would like to
Yes.
come and tell us anything that you think you're going to need for police and streets. Also, Russ has suggested, and we've had some previous discussion about it, and out of police and streets is the best time probably to go over this again. Russ is recommending, he's done the legwork on the fee schedule and fine schedule through other entities. And we had talked about doing that. And Joe had mentioned that the police committee should be in on that. I think that was a good suggestion, Joe. Matter of fact, I really think that needs to go to police first.
We haven't even discussed that today.
Talked about it tonight.
Okay, good.
Yeah, as soon as Russ gets it to me, then I'll bring it to you.
Okay, well, I'm thinking this, so tell me if I'm wrong or not, that you want to bring it to legislation, or are you ready to go? Is it written up? Does it need to be written up?
I have information. I can do some comparisons. I've done it in the past, but I'll update it.
So we really need to have council first, then legislation?
Well, no, I was thinking that
And I'm-
before you
I'm-
present it, you need to get it into form. So if it needs to come to legislation, or if it needs Anthony to look it over and be sure that everything...
No, we're not
Legal.
talking any big fine increases, we're just talking bringing stuff into line, like, our parking fine is $3. I mean, people park illegally because it's only $3, and they would rather park illegally and just come pay the $3 when, I mean, that's not right.
Let's fix them.
It's $3.
It's money. You know, we're talking about, let's get our revenue where we can possibly make it right. And these are things we're asking people, just obey the laws, that's all.
Okay,
Obey
this
the laws.
committee's going to look this over first.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
And then we'll discuss it here. That's it.
Okay. And then on the street side, you had recommended that we look at that final permissive tax. We just had a little discussion on that.
Yeah.
So that would come from streets, and I'll work with streets on that so that we get the information.
If we can just, like you said, just stabilize that department a little bit. I mean, we always run so close, and those guys do everything. You know, and we got, I mean, at some point, we got equipment we got to replace, and, I mean, the truck we use the most is a 99. Our generator truck that we use to power the center of town when the lights go out is a 76.
Isn't that an antique?
Yeah, it's a 1976. We bought it used from the fire department for a couple grand 20 years ago. I mean, at some point, we have to look at...
Replacing those things. And traditionally, looking back, most of those large expenses have come from subsidies from general fund.
Yeah.
And you know, that's fine to do that, but you don't want operations coming out of the general fund. And we've had to do that a few times in the not too distant, past, where we were plugging in $8,000, $9,000 for operations. Now, this past year, you didn't do any subsidies from general fund, is that
Just
correct?
this last year,
Right.
14, no, we did
Okay,
not.
so you-
But we did 8,012.
Okay.
But what those guys do too, what people don't realize, what those guys do to save us money, like, they're coming out, the part-time guys coming out at their regular time. The 2 full-time guys are coming out, and they'll be on the road at 4 in the morning today, and instead of hitting us for overtime, they'll work 8 hours and go home. I mean, they do what they can do too to, they're willing to work with us to help us save money. But, I mean, we've done a lot to scrimp and cut and save, and
Yeah, we know you do that.
those guys do a lot of work.
Yeah, we need to stabilize that fund somehow.
That reminds me, we had a discussion earlier, are you going to get some ramps for the pickup truck?
Those actually are ramps. I mean, they might be wood, but those are actually ramps with ends, and
You're happy with that?
I
figured that they...
If they were lifting something this high in the air, they're only running the...
Where you got the ramps with the cleat on the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to...
It's your call, buddy. No, Dave was concerned, so do what you have
Yeah,
to do.
those are the ones with the cleats on. Those are...
Okay.
Were you looking at hiring a full-time officer?
No.
Okay, there was some confusion with that the last...
Yeah, no,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Okay.
No.
Motion to accept the police and street committee or department reports.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? From engineer.
I'm going to go back and list under the mayor's report that you declare a parking ban from 9 p.m. Tuesday, 2/4/14 until further notice. Did I hear that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody, we contact...
I'll take care of it.
Okay.
Report from engineer.
Nothing. 9 p.m. Tuesday.
Tonight.
Yeah, tonight. You think it's going to snow? Okay.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
We'll be using
Go
this
for
number.
it. Yeah.
All right, reports from outstanding committees of council, finance, wage, audit, and insurance.
As you know, we are currently working on budget, And I have, I believe, everyone's requests in. I don't have a lot of them. That's a good thing. So if anybody has forgotten and wants to submit something, please do so this week.
211 at 6:30.
211 at 6:30.
You have a meeting this coming on the 11th?
Right, we do, Joe, but Mark is going to be attending that, he said. Mark is going to be attending it.
So we can't have...
We can't have four council people.
You can't even sit in the audience.
He can, but then he can't participate in the discussion. That's pretty hard to do. If you're a council person.
You can sit there, you just can't talk.
Okay, but we got to get this thing going. I got to find out where we're going to get some money if we're going to do anything. Because we got zero, you know that. You guys all know that. So, okay, what time is your meeting?
You can come in, you can listen,
Yeah.
but you cannot participate in the discussion, or we'll have a violation of
I'm not that
sunshine law.
Okay, what time is your meeting?
It's at 6:30, Joe.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Legislation and policy.
Okay, one thing the legislation committee's got to look at, it's Frank Gagowski's rules about bicycles. He's trying very hard, and he gave us a lot of information, and apparently what we have in our ordinance is wrong, and we could get in legal problems. So the legislative committee is going to look at this. Yeah, Mr. Limmer and myself and who else? You? Good. You and me. Okay. There's something else while we're talking about committees. What do you think about the town crier printing the committees? Who's on them? So people know. Is anybody got an objection to that?
As long as it's not an ad.
No, they got my phone number. I told everybody, they know my phone number. Why can't they get your phone number? You're a paid... Okay, it's in the book. Well, what do you guys think of that? Any problem?
Can you place it as a paid ad, Joe? Is that what you're saying?
No, just like, we got the sheet with all the committees and also your appointments, People know who to contact then.
Yeah, if they're willing to do it without a charge. Otherwise, you know what, most of those papers will go in the recycle bin, and then they'll call Paula when they have a question anyway. So, to pay for it is...
No, we don't have to pay for it,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, if they're doing a free service, that's wonderful.
Public record, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They can put that there.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. Okay. Is that okay with you?
Fine with me.
Okay.
Everybody contacts the mayor.
Yes.
Never wait to know.
Full Bill done his phone number.
Okay, I'm glad.
Okay, police and fire, anything going on there?
No.
Street, sidewalks, and drainage?
Nope, nothing.
Blooper.
Nothing?
Reports from boards, planning commission.
Nothing?
Board of zoning appeals.
Nothing weird.
ARB.
Nothing.
Forest board.
Nothing. Well, we're going to meet on the 25th.
Hyde Memorial.
Eleanor, did I tell you the right date? 25th, right?
Oh, that sounds
That's Tuesday, yeah.
Thursday.
No,
Thank you.
Right? February 14th, yeah. I got a calendar here, I think it's pretty authentic.
It's Friday.
What is? I didn't say anything about the 14th or 25th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 25th.
25th, that's Tuesday.
25th.
Yep. Anything from West Reserve Fire District?
No.
Okay. Reports from special committees? Communications from residents? Any new business?
Hey, did anybody got anything to say? Give them a chance.
I asked him.
Yeah, but you gotta give them a chance. Anybody got anything to say? Bob? No? John? No?
All right, any old business? Motions, ordinances, and resolutions.
Someone who can accept the mayor's report for the street tree commissioner.
Motion to accept the mayor's appointment of James Dramer as the street tree commissioner.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, thank you. Any other motions, ordinances, or resolutions? Second and third readings. Presentation of the bills.
Make a motion that the bills be paid.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Questions from the news media? Remarks by council, Mrs. Cernak.
None?
Mrs. Jash.
Nothing?
Mr. Cassett. Nothing. Mr. Donovan.
Yes, just again, I want to thank the Zediker family for the continued service to Foley Village. Thank you very much.
Mr. Major.
Of course, they know my feeling about Bob Zediker. But I got to say, we had a good Heim Fund meeting. And I'm glad to get some new blood in that Heim Fund. Some new ideas and so forth. However, we got to get a report from Rebecca. We don't have a report at all. You know?
She had it in minutes for the previous meeting.
Don't matter, minutes. I want to see the, Nick knows. We want to know what we're doing financially, yeah. I've talked to her about that. But otherwise, everybody's doing good. Dave is working hard.
Dave's doing a good job.
Yeah. I want a copy of that letter from Barnheiser.
Hopefully for another school day tomorrow. Let us know. All right, it's 8:13.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Means adjourned.
Somebody made a